The Airbnb smells like rosemary and something burned, maybe hope, maybe just last night's dinner. Right away, I spot the windows, all glass, stretching from floor to ceiling. Austin sprawls out behind them, looking like a postcard nobody really wants. Those towers, that orange sunset bleeding over the river, pretty, but kind of smug about it. Inside, Mom's already set the table. Cream linens from home, of course. She won't let us use rental silverware. Ethan's hunched near the TV, fighting with the HDMI cable. He's 32, but you'd think the cord was trying to bite him. Almost ready, he mutters, not really to anyone. I slide into my seat between Harper and a cousin whose name's already slipped my mind. Dad, James, pours wine with the kind of care you use when you're making a big investment. Evelyn floats around Ethan, fussing with his collar like we're about to meet the queen. We're just family, but with Ethan, every dinner turns into some kind of performance. The TV lights up. First slide, AI Art Gallery. Revolutionizing creative spaces. Comic Sans. I grimace and study my water. So, Ethan starts, his voice wobbling. I've been working on this concept for 10 months. 10 months. The same stretch of time I spent landing the Riverside Plaza deal, $5 million in fees for my firm. He clicks again. The next slide's a blurry mess. Maybe AI paintings, maybe just junk scraped off Google. He reads, the intersection of technology and human creativity represents an untapped market opportunity. Dad nods like Ethan's quoting the Bible. Evelyn scribbles notes on a tiny notepad. I cut into my turkey. Dry as paper. Ethan plows ahead. Initial investment needed. Next slide, just a jumble of colored numbers. $150,000. That's the ask. Rent, licensing, first 8 months. Harper shifts next to me. She's my cousin, Mom's sister's kid, and honestly, the only one here who's ever asked about my life. Sounds ambitious, Dad says. I can already see him doing the math, figuring out which fund to cash out. Ethan launches into his revenue projections, all buzzwords and big promises. Basically, he says. Over and over. 17 times I count. When he finally stops, Evelyn dabs her eyes. It's wonderful, sweetheart. So innovative. Then Harper cuts through the applause. Elena, are you still in Chicago? I heard you got a huge promotion. The whole table freezes. Even the cousin with the phone looks up. I set my fork down. Actually, I'm moving to New York. Tribeca. Closed on a place last week. Harper grins. Renting? No. Bought it. She beams. That's amazing. Great investment. $4, $2 million, I say. It just comes out plain and steady. Cash. Hudson River view. Dad's wine glass slips out of his hand. The crash on marble is louder than you'd think. Red wine seeps across Mom's perfect tablecloth, thick and slow, dripping onto the floor. For a second, nobody breathes. Ethan goes from pale to purple in a blink. He slams his fork down. For $0.2 million? In Tribeca? Jesus Christ, Elena. Who'd you have to sleep with for that? The words hang there, sour and permanent. Evelyn jumps in. Ethan. Honey. You're just stressed. She reaches for him, but he pulls away. Dad's staring at me like I've confessed to a crime. Elena. How could you not tell us? The question almost makes me laugh. Like I owe them a play-by-play of my bank account. Like I need their approval to succeed. Ethan shoves his chair back so hard it screeches. This is typical. You always have to one-up me. Always. I watch the wine drip. Slow. Steady. My pulse matches it, distant, mechanical. And then I'm back at 18 in my head. Ethan's birthday bash in some Chicago lounge, 200 of his closest friends, James dropping 12 grand on an open bar. 3 weeks later, my birthday, Olive Garden. Just us. Evelyn on her phone, planning Ethan's summer in Barcelona. He got a BMW 3 Series. Navy blue, leather seats, his name on the papers. I got a refurbished Dell laptop for $100. James handed it to me across a pile of breadsticks. You're so practical, Elena. No need for flash. Evelyn called me strong. All my life, it was the same story. Elena's the strong one. Elena can handle it. What they really meant. Elena doesn't complain. Elena doesn't ask for anything. She's so easy to forget. I fold my napkin, neat and careful, because my hands need something to do. My voice stays steady when I finally open my mouth. Every dollar I have, I earned 80-hour weeks, deals that actually closed. I look around the table, James, Evelyn, Ethan. Ethan, you got a BMW when you turned 18. I got a $400 laptop. You needed $10,000 wired to Barcelona for what you called an emergency, but it was just bottle service. 3 different failed startups, and each one got funding. And now Ethan's spitting at me, that I'm just a robot, just pushing numbers around. That I don't make anything real, don't do anything that matters. James throws up his hand. Elena, that's enough. Apologize to your brother. The room tips. Or maybe it's just me, finally seeing things for what they are. Harper sits frozen beside me. The cousin nobody remembers is already scrolling on his phone. Evelyn's crying, mascara running in neat black lines. My dad looks at me like I'm the one who ruined everything. Wine drips onto the table, each drop louder than the last. Later, my new apartment is all recycled air and expensive disappointment. I'm cross-legged on my big bed, laptop propped on a pillow, still in yesterday's clothes because unpacking just feels too permanent. My phone buzzes. Harper texts, I had no idea it was this bad. I stare at her words for ages before going back to work. The spreadsheet blinks at me. Column A, date. B, amount. C, recipient. D, purpose, supposedly. The bank statements I asked for 3 days ago are stacked in my downloads, lined up like evidence. I haven't opened a single one. Knowing what happened is one thing. Seeing the numbers, real numbers, hurts in a way you can't even explain. But I open the first file. May 2015. $10,000 to Ethan Edwards. Barcelona emergency. There was no emergency. Ethan posted party photos for months, rooftop bars, paella, some blonde he never named. The emergency was running out of money to spend. I typed the number into my spreadsheet. It just sits there, staring at me. June 2015, another transfer for $1,000 for startup costs. Which one? The juice bar that lasted 4 months? The app that never launched? The vintage shop that got evicted? I scroll and the transfers blur together, a parade of failures, 4 figures at a time. September 2016, $6,500. January 2017, $8,000. March 2017, $5,000. My own 18th birthday? The memory leaves my chest hollow. I start a new spreadsheet tab and call it comparative analysis. Corporate lingo makes this easier to stomach. Age 18, Ethan gets $40,000. Car down payment, insurance, tuition. Elena gets $400. A laptop. Age 21, Ethan, $20,000 for a DUI lawyer, court fees, new car after he wrecks the first one. Elena? Nothing. I paid my own rent, tuition, everything. Age 25, Ethan, $35,000 for a startup. Elena gets a phone call asking why she never visits. December 2018, $15,000, holiday assistance. I remember that Christmas. I'd flown in from Chicago with gifts I'd spent 2 weeks pay on. Ethan showed up late, empty-handed, wearing a ridiculous jacket that cost more than my rent. Just something I picked up, he said. Yeah, $15,000 is what he picked up. The phone rings. I want to ignore it, but it's Evelyn and habit wins. Elena, she says, already crying. How could you do this to us? I say nothing. My spreadsheet total is up to $220,000, and I'm only through 2019. You've destroyed this family. Your father can't sleep. Ethan is devastated. I think Ethan called me a whore at Thanksgiving yesterday. He was stressed. You know how sensitive he is. Her tears turn hard. Your success makes him feel worthless. I click to the next bank statement. March 2020, $10,000, pandemic relief. That's not my responsibility, I say. You're his sister, Evelyn snaps. Family takes care of each other. Family. The word tastes rotten. When's the last time anyone asked how I was doing? Silence. Then, you're always fine. You're the strong one. Right. I type another line into the spreadsheet. April 2020, $8,000. May 2020, $5,500. I'm fine. That's why you always choose him. That's not true. You're making things up. I close the spreadsheet. But I still have the bank statements. We've always backed him. That's not the same thing. You emptied your retirement account for his semester in Barcelona. I watch her breathing shift, careful now. Who told you that? Dad's 401k withdrawal form was in the file cabinet. I found it by accident, looking for my birth certificate when I was home for Christmas in 2016. The number looked outrageous back then. Now, it just fits the pattern. You had no right going through our papers. You had no right calling me selfish for making something of myself. Evelyn makes a sound sharp, like something breaking. If you don't apologize to your brother, we're not coming to your housewarming. She thinks it's a threat. Maybe it's supposed to be. But all I hear is relief. Okay, I say. Okay, that's it? That's all, don't come then. I hang up before she can say anything else. My hands stay steady. Somehow, that seems important. I look at my spreadsheet. It's done. $520,000, moved over 10 years. The number sits there at the bottom of column B, Excel helpfully highlighting it in red. The phone buzzes again. Not Evelyn. James. I let it go to voicemail. When the notification pops up, I play it on speaker. Elena, this is your father. His voice is cold, too formal, like he's talking business. Your mother is very upset. Ethan is talking about seeing a therapist because of your behavior. We think you should apologize and offer him a job at your firm. He needs structure. You have the resources to help him. The message ends. I save it to my documentation folder. I search my email. Keyword, Ethan, Elena. The results fill the screen 43 threads. I start at the top. From James Edwards. Subject, Ray. Graduation gift. Date, May 2014. Elena doesn't need a party. She's not the celebrating type. Let's put that money toward Ethan's Europe trip instead. I graduated summa cum laude. Ethan finished 3 years later with a 2.1 GPA and a general studies degree. He'd switched majors 5 times. I keep reading. Email after email. 10 years of quiet dismissal. My achievements get a sentence. Ethan's failures get paragraphs full of sympathy and plans. Subject, Elena's promotion. Body, that's wonderful, honey. By the way, Ethan needs $4,000 for his new business venture. Reba. Subject, Ethan's opportunity. Body, 8 paragraphs about his vision, his potential, his sensitive artist soul. Not a word about the opportunity being a pyramid scheme. My phone lights up. A text from an unknown number, but I know who it is. You're tearing this family apart. Mom's crying. Dad's furious. Hope you're happy, you soulless corporate drone. I screenshot it. Add it to documentation. Then I scroll through my contacts to Ethan. My thumb hovers over the block button. Alistair Vance told me once I act like someone with no safety net. He didn't mean it as a dig. I nodded and changed the subject, because he was right and I didn't want to explain. I hit block. The confirmation screen pops up. You will no longer receive calls or messages from this contact. Delete contact? Yes. It's so simple. One tap. 32 years of training gone. My laptop screen has gone dark. I tap the trackpad. The spreadsheet wakes up. $520,000. I open a new document and title it, Timeline of Financial Favoritism. I start writing. Every birthday. Every Christmas. Every emergency that wasn't. Every failed startup. Every promise that my turn would come. Later, always later. Later never came. Outside, the city glows. New York, all windows and sirens. From 18 floors up, it looks clean, controlled. Like a spreadsheet where everything finally adds up. My phone buzzes again. Harper this time. I believe you. If you need me to confirm anything, I will. I saw it too. I text back, thank you. That matters. Back to the timeline. There's still work left. A month later, security calls my direct line at 10:47 a.m. On a Tuesday. I'm 3 slides into a portfolio review when my phone vibrates across the table. Miss Edwards? There's a situation in the lobby. I step into the hall, December wind rattling the windows. What kind of situation? A family member says he needs to speak with you. He's getting loud. My stomach sinks. What's his name? Ethan Edwards. Should I call the police? Through the phone, I hear him, his voice bouncing off marble, 43 floors below. She owes me. That apartment should be mine. Give me 5 minutes, I tell security. If he's still there, yes, call them. I walk back into the conference room. Alistair is staring out at the skyline. Everything all right? My brother's in the lobby making a scene. He doesn't ask anything. Just snaps his laptop shut. Go. Deal with it. By the time I hit the lobby, Ethan's already pacing by reception, winter coat flapping open, face blotchy and wild. 3 security guards give him space, but not much. Elena. He clocks me. Finally. Tell them to let me up. You need to leave. Not until we talk about what you did. His voice cracks. You ruined Thanksgiving. Mom's been crying for weeks. I keep near the elevators, out of reach. Not my problem. For $0.2 million. He spits the number like an accusation. You humiliated me in front of everyone. I stated a fact. You're selfish. You've always been selfish. Spit flying, voice rising. People stop to stare. Phones out, recording. That money should have gone to the family. Security edges in, the lead guy murmuring into his radio. You need to leave, I say again. Not until you apologize. I pull out my phone and hit record. You're trespassing. You're creating a scene. Leave now or the police get involved. His face goes dark red. This is bullshit. She's a thief. She stole my inheritance. Security moves him toward the doors, his shouting unraveling into garbled rage. I shoot the video to my personal email and head upstairs to HR. By 2, I'm sitting across from Janet Reeves, our HR director. My phone sits on the table, the video already played twice. This is the 3rd time this week, she asks. 4th. He called my assistant yesterday. We'll document all of it. I'm recommending you talk to legal about a restraining order. When I get back to my office, Alistair's waiting. Security filled me in, he says. Your brother sounds unstable. He's desperate. My parents have floated his life for 32 years. How much have they given him? The number still stings. Over 500 grand. Alistair lets out a low whistle. Jesus. I got a $400 laptop. He's quiet for a moment, then starts dialing. I'm calling your dad. You don't have to. What's the number? James picks up on the 3rd ring, voice tinny on speaker. Mr. Edwards, this is Alistair Vance, managing partner at Whitmore Capital. I'm calling about your son's behavior this morning. He caused a scene in our lobby. Security had to remove him. I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding. It's harassment. If he contacts this office again, we'll take legal action. Alistair's voice is ice. Your daughter is brilliant. Your son isn't her responsibility. Don't contact this office again. He hangs up before James can say a word. Thank you, I say. He waves it off. Someone needed to say it. That evening, a calendar invite lands in my inbox. Family Zoom call, tomorrow at 7. Family discussion, the subject line reads. I know exactly what it is. An ambush. Harper texts 5 minutes later. Did you get the Zoom invite? This feels like a setup. It is, I reply. But I'm showing up anyway. You sure? I type. I have the receipts. The next night, I join the call from my dining room, New York skyline glowing behind me. Faces pop up, aunts, uncles, cousins, Evelyn and James, front and center. And Ethan, slouched in his Lincoln Park apartment, rent paid by my parents. Thanks for joining, Elena, James starts. We thought it was time to clear the air. Ethan leans in, notes spread on his desk, ready to perform. He launches into his speech, family betrayal, my success crushing him, how I made myself rich while he struggles. Voice quivering at the right moments. She's turned into this cold corporate robot. Evelyn dabs her eyes. James nods along. When he's done, James looks at me. Elena, do you have anything to say? I lean back. Let's talk about money. Ethan's eyes go sharp. You got a BMW for your 18th birthday. I got a $400 laptop. You got 10 grand wired to Barcelona. You've been given over $500,000 in 12 years. That's a lie, Evelyn snaps. How dare you make up these numbers? I have bank statements. You're ungrateful, James throws in. Ethan leans forward, emboldened. See? She's crazy. She's making this up. The gallery fills with confusion, some nodding along with my parents. That's when I get it, they'll never admit it. Not out loud. Not in front of everyone. The story they've built matters too much. Good parents don't play favorites. Good parents don't empty their savings for one kid and hand the other nothing. So they'll keep denying it. Forever. I see, I say, quiet. This conversation's over. I close my laptop right in the middle of James's protests and Evelyn's tears. My phone lights up with texts, mostly from relatives asking what the hell just happened. A couple texts roll in from cousins who saw the mess firsthand. Then one from a number I haven't seen since 2021. Liam Kincaid. He heard about the family drama. Says he's proud of me. I just stare at the message for a minute, thinking about the last time we spoke, right after our big fight senior year at DePaul. They're vampires, Elena. Choose yourself. That's what he told me. But I didn't. I picked dysfunction over the kind of love that doesn't chew you up. He saw what I couldn't. I type back, thanks. Should have listened to you. He replies right away, you're listening now. That's what matters. Next morning, life kicks in. Janet emails me a packet for documenting harassment. Alistair drops off a security system for my Tribeca place, right at my desk. And Harper calls. 3 aunts texted her after that Zoom. They admitted they saw all the favoritism, just never said a word. I ask why. Because if you speak up, you become the target. Now I'm the target. Yeah, Harper says. But you can handle it. They can't. By Friday, my assistants set up a protocol. All family calls go to voicemail. All emails get filtered. My parents can't reach me directly anymore. It's wild. Feels like I can breathe for the first time in 31 years. Saturday morning, I'm buried in purchase agreements when my phone buzzes with an unknown number. A text. Just a photo. Ethan at JFK, boarding pass in hand. One-way ticket to New York. Then another text. Coming to get what's mine. I screenshot and fire it off to Janet and my lawyer. Then I text Ethan back, see you in court. Because I'm not running. I'm spending Christmas in Tribeca, in my apartment, with the Hudson right outside my window. Not hiding anymore. The doorman at 47, Light Street, Frank, ex-NYPD, 62, takes his job like it's a sacred oath, has Ethan's photo taped inside his security binder. When I handed him the restraining order paperwork 3 days ago, he stared at Ethan's face like he was studying a wanted poster. If he shows up, Frank said, tapping the photo, I handle it. Christmas Eve rolls in cold and bright. My apartment smells like pine because Harper helped me pick out a little tree last week. No ornaments, just white lights and that river turning silver in the afternoon. At 7:47 p.m., my phone buzzes. Building security. Miss Edwards, we have a situation in the lobby. Even before Frank finishes, I'm already pulling up the security camera on my laptop. There's Ethan, same North Face jacket from Thanksgiving, pacing in front of the marble desk, mouth going a mile a minute. Frank stands between him and the elevators, arms crossed. I'm watching now, I tell Frank. Don't let him pass the desk. Not a chance. I screenshot the timestamp, 7:47 p.m. Document everything. That's what the lawyer said. Ethan's voice gets loud. Loud enough that, even over the phone, I hear him. She's my sister. You can't keep me from seeing my own sister on Christmas Eve. Frank says something, but I can't make it out. He gestures at the door, the universal sign for get out. Ethan stays put. Pulls out his phone, probably trying to call me, but he's been blocked since December 3rd. When that fails, he turns to the street-facing windows and starts shouting. Elena, I know you're up there. Stop hiding. I hang up with Frank and call 911. My voice is steady. I need to report a violation of a restraining order at 47, Light Street, Tribeca. The subject is in the lobby, refusing to leave. Anyone outside? Yeah. I can see people filming through the lobby windows, their phones out, recording Ethan's meltdown in HD. He's waving his arms, pointing at my building like he's giving a tour of his lost inheritance. She stole it. His voice is echoing, all the way up 17 floors. That apartment should be mine. She's stealing my inheritance. Except there's no inheritance. Grandma's trust goes to charity. But facts have never stopped Ethan before. 2 NYPD officers show up in 11 minutes. I actually time it. Frank meets them at the door, hands over the restraining order, points out Ethan. 90 seconds later, they're escorting my brother out. He's still yelling about theft, betrayal, family. By 9 p.m., the video's on Twitter. Entitled Man-Child Melts Down at Luxury Building. 40,000 views. By midnight, 200,000. Someone's added subtitles. Someone else made it a TikTok, complete with a crying filter. Ethan's face, purple with rage, is a meme now. I forward everything to my attorney. Every view, every share, every comment calling him pathetic. Documentation. Christmas morning. 6:47 a.m. Evelyn calls. I let it go to voicemail. She calls again at 7:03. Then James tries at 7:15. At 8:30, I finally listen. Elena, this has gone too far. Evelyn's voice is shaking. Your brother's crushed. All he wanted was to talk to you on Christmas, no less, and now he feels like the family joke. Then James sends his own message, straight to the point. We're flying to New York. We need to settle this as a family. I text my lawyer. Parents incoming. Office ambush is probably next. Her reply pops up in half a minute. We'll notify building security. HR is standing by. They show up at my office the Tuesday after Christmas. I'm waiting, and so is building security, HR, and Marcus, the corporate attorney. Alistair called in for 8 a.m. sharp. James and Evelyn stroll into the glass conference room like they own the place. My mother's wearing her cream Talbot suit, the one she saves for parent-teacher conferences and church. James has on his insurance broker blazer, elbows all shiny from years of leaning. They're not ready for what's waiting. Jennifer from HR sits on my left. Marcus is on my right. Security waits just outside, in full view. Evelyn's mask cracks first. What is this? We came to talk to our daughter. You came to harass an employee at her workplace, Marcus says. His voice is all steel. Miss Edwards has agreed to this meeting with counsel present. I set my phone down, recording light on. Legal in New York as long as you give notice, Marcus just did. Elena, come on, James tries, slipping into his reasonable dad voice. We just want to understand. Why are you doing this to Ethan? Tell me about the investment strategy, I say. My tone might as well be about the stock market. $500,000 over 12 years. Walk me through it. Evelyn glances at James, then he shifts in his chair. Finally, Evelyn answers, we invested in Ethan because he needed help. You were always so capable. You didn't need us. There it is. I tap my phone screen, marking the time. So, my capability disqualified me from equal treatment, I say. Not a question. James leans in. Your success was supposed to support the family. That's what families do. The strong ones help the struggling ones. Marcus jots something down. Jennifer's face is blank, but her knuckles go white around her pen. Can you repeat that? I ask James. For clarity. He raises his voice. You were supposed to help your brother. You make millions. He's struggling. Family means helping each other. I stop the recording and tap it twice. The playback fills the room. Your success was supposed to support the family. Evelyn goes pale. James just opens and closes his mouth. That recording goes to our legal team, Marcus says, standing up. This meeting's over. Any further contact with Miss Edwards is harassment and gets immediate legal action. Security leads them out. Evelyn's crying. James argues with the guard about rights and respect and family. The elevator doors close on his voice. Jennifer touches my shoulder before she leaves. I have 3 brothers, she whispers. I get it. Back in my office, the emails hit fast. Harper's already made a shared drive, family documentation, she calls it. Folders everywhere. Financial records. Witness statements. Screenshots. Aunt Linda's got photos from our 18th birthday, Ethan's lounge party with the ice sculpture, my Olive Garden dinner, 4 people at a table meant for 8. Cousin Marcus sends a video of Ethan bragging about $10,000 in bottle service in Barcelona. 3 more cousins send statements. They all start the same way. I witnessed preferential treatment. At noon, Alistair emails. Corporate counsel is yours for as long as you need. Nobody threatens my directors. That afternoon, the investment firm posts a statement on LinkedIn. We stand behind our managing director and her exemplary record. By week's end, Ethan's AI art gallery investors are demanding refunds. His Instagram is full of rants about family betrayal. My legal team screenshots everything. His threats to expose family secrets get timestamped, forwarded, saved. James's insurance firm gets an anonymous tip about his son's public antics. It's not actionable, but it's enough to get people talking. The parents' retirement fund, already gutted by Ethan's projects, hits 0. Then a mortgage payment comes due, one they can't cover. New Year's Eve, the family group chat catches fire. Someone leaked the $520,000 figure. Aunt Patricia wants answers. Uncle Robert wants to know if his mother's estate got raided. The grandmother's lawyer calls for an emergency meeting. Christmas dinner, already pushed back, gets cancelled altogether. Evelyn's email blames conflict. No one replies. New Year's Eve, I'm in my apartment, 17 floors up. Harper's here. Alistair and his wife show up with champagne. Jennifer from HR drops in with her partner. This is my family, the one I picked. At midnight, fireworks throw gold and silver across my windows. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. The preview reads, "You destroyed everything." I delete it. Pour more champagne. Toast the people I chose. Down below, the city shouts and cheers. In here, I finally feel free. Then, in February, a courier hands me a lawsuit in the lobby, Ethan Edwards v. Elena Edwards. Emotional distress. He wants $750,000. I stand there in my running shoes, breath fogging the glass, reading language so twisted it's almost impressive. I sabotaged his creative life, I crushed his confidence, I stole family money just to make him fail. My phone lights up. Alistair. You've seen it, he asks. Reading it now, I say. It's garbage. Frivolous barely covers it. Alistair's voice is all tight anger. 40 years, watching people game the courts will do that to you. They found some lawyer hoping for a payout, he says. I flip to the part about Granddad's trust. They're claiming I manipulated the inheritance, tricked a dying man to cut Ethan out. Truth is, Granddad left me $60,000 for grad school. Ethan got nothing because he never visited, not once, the whole year and a half in hospice. They want all my financials, I tell Alistair. Of course they do. It's a fishing trip. He rustles papers. They're threatening to go public with family secrets unless you settle for $300,000. I watch a ferry push through the river below, stubborn against the current. Let them, I say. 3 weeks later, discovery starts. My lawyer is Patricia Morrison. She's famous for gutting fake injury claims. Silver hair, razor cut, eyes that could price you from across a room. This'll get ugly, she tells me at our first meeting. They listed your parents as character witnesses, claiming you've been abusive since childhood. Good, I say, sliding her a thumb drive. I've got receipts just as old. She plugs it in, scrolls. Her face doesn't change, but she does pause on the spreadsheet. You paid for his DUI lawyer, she asks. With my summer job money. Was supposed to buy a car, took the bus instead. She nods. We'll need the bank records. I've got 10 years worth. Every birthday check. Every emergency wire. Every failed business they bankrolled for him. And texts from my mother admitting they did it because I didn't need help. Discovery turns up things even I didn't know. Patricia walks me through the depositions in March, sleet slashing the windows. James, page 47, we saw Elena as our retirement plan. She'd succeed no matter what. Ethan needed more support. Evelyn, page 62, the birthday parties were different because Ethan's more social. He needed that. Elena liked quiet. The lies are so polished they probably believe them. Then page 93. Patricia asks Evelyn about the BMW versus the laptop. Well, yes, there was a difference. But Elena never complained. Did you ask if it bothered her? Silence, 14 seconds, the court reporter notes. No. Ethan's deposition is a train wreck. Patricia barely nudges him, and he falls apart. Name one business that made money, she says. The art gallery idea was solid. The market just wasn't ready. Did you ever lease a gallery? I was in the planning phase. How long? 10 months. What did you actually do during those 10 months? Market research. Competitive analysis. Can you show us any documentation? Silence. Then it was mostly conceptual. Patricia doesn't let it go. She's printed every social media post he made and lined them up on the conference table in perfect order. December. Tweets where he calls me a corporate sociopath. January. Instagram rants about family betrayal. February. He compares me to Scrooge, somehow messing up both the Dickens reference and the story itself. Patricia looks at him. Did you write these? I was emotional, he says. She humiliated us at Thanksgiving. By buying real estate with her own money, his lawyer jumps in, but it's too late. The words are on the record now, stuck there for good. The trial's set for late March, Manhattan Supreme Court. The place reeks of old wood and even older grudges. Mahogany panels, marble floors, columns that stretch up to the vaulted ceiling. Windows that let in sharp, almost painful spring sunlight. I show up in charcoal gray. Ethan's suit doesn't fit. The jacket strains at the shoulders, the pants bunched over shoes he clearly borrowed. Patricia starts with an opening statement that's sharp and cold. She flashes a PowerPoint on the screen, the same financials I pulled together in a Chicago hotel room, now marked as Exhibit through M. Every transfer, every difference, right there in black and white. The photo of the BMW versus the laptop is blown up to poster size. The judge stares at it for a long time, reading glasses halfway down his nose. 18 years old, Patricia says. Same parents, same birthday, 3 weeks apart. $40,000 car versus a $400 laptop. James sits behind Ethan, looking like an old newspaper left in the rain. Evelyn wipes her eyes, but the judge ignores her. He's busy following the money, one finger tracing the statements. Day 2, our forensic accountant shows up. Richard Brennan, 30 years in the business, a guy who once tracked mob money through 14 shell companies. He walks the court through every transfer, voice steady, almost bored, like he's reading a grocery list. Between ages 18 and 32, the defendant's brother received approximately $520,000 from their parents. The plaintiff received, in that same period, about $10,000, mostly holiday gifts. Ethan's lawyer objects. Relevance, Your Honor. This is about emotional distress, not family finances. Patricia fires back. The finances show a pattern of favoritism, which connects to the defendant's claim that my client sabotaged him. The judge just nods. Overruled. Continue, Mr. Brennan. Day 3. Aita-style takes the stand. He has the same look he gets in board meetings when someone tanks a quarterly report, disappointed but not surprised. In 10 years of working with Miss Edwards, I've never seen unethical behavior. She's meticulous, honest, and the most talented analyst I've ever managed. Ethan's lawyer tries to shake him. Isn't it true you have a personal relationship with the plaintiff? I'm her mentor. Yes. Doesn't that bias your testimony? Aita-style takes off his glasses, wipes them with a handkerchief. I've mentored 47 analysts in my career. 3 made managing director before 30. Elena is one of them. That's not bias. That's pattern recognition. Harper testifies. Liam sends a statement from California about the family dynamics he saw in college. 3 colleagues provide character references. Day 4. They play the video compilation Ethan's Christmas Eve meltdown outside my building. He's screaming about inheritance and theft. NYPD officers try to calm him down. Then, clips from his social media, the rants, the accusations, the claim that I stole his destiny. The judge doesn't react. When the videos end, he just makes a note on his pad. Day 5. Ethan takes the stand. Patricia approaches him like you'd approach a snake that's already bitten someone. Mr. Edwards, can you name one business venture that succeeded? They would have, with proper funding. That's not what I asked. Name one that succeeded, made a profit, paid its way. His jaw clenches. The market conditions weren't favorable. 12 years and not one good market condition? You don't understand creative industries. Patricia lifts a document. I have your student loan history here. DePaul University, 6 years for majors, no degree. Your parents paid $150,000 in tuition. Is that correct? I was finding myself. And did you? Find yourself? The courtroom goes still, except for someone's phone buzzing in the gallery. The judge shoots a look toward the sound, clearly annoyed. I'm an artist, Ethan finally says. Show me the art. He has nothing. No portfolio, no exhibitions, no sales. Just concepts, plans, and dreams funded by people who honestly should have known better. The judge's decision lands the next morning. I'm back in my office when Patricia calls. Dismissed with prejudice, she says. He can't refile. Not ever. And? I ask. The judge awarded you $150,000 in legal fees, plus costs. Ethan's personally liable for the whole thing. I shut my office door and lean against it. Out my window, the Hudson runs gray under heavy clouds. Patricia's not done. There's more, she says. The judge added a statement to his ruling. I'm reading it now. This court finds the plaintiff's claims are not just without merit, but a transparent attempt to extort funds from a family member whose only crime was succeeding through legitimate effort, while the plaintiff failed through lack of same. My phone buzzes. Harper, did you hear? They're selling the house. Another buzz, unknown number. This is James. We need to talk about payment arrangements. I delete it. No response. By May, the scholarship fund is up. The Elena Edwards Scholarship for first-generation students at University of Illinois. Full tuition for years, renewable if they keep their grades up. The first recipient is a girl from rural Illinois. Her parents work in a factory. Her thank you letter lands on my desk in June. You gave me a chance, she writes, to be the first. I frame her letter and hang it where the family photo used to be. Now, the Tribeca penthouse smells like expensive wine and possibility. 6 months since Thanksgiving, and I don't flinch at the sound of the doorbell anymore. Alistair lifts his glass across my dining table, candlelight sparking off crystal. To Elena's newest fund launch. 12 million under management, and she makes it look easy. It's not easy, I say, but I'm grinning. Behind him, the Basquiat cost more than my parents got for their Lake Forest house. I picked it for that wall, the one where, in another home, family photos might have hung. Harper squeezes my hand. Around us, 8 people laugh and talk, passing dishes, topping off their glasses. My chosen family. A senior partner from the firm. 2 women from my building, now friends after 100 morning coffees. Alistair's wife, a college roommate who flew in from Seattle. None of them want anything from me but my company. The doorbell rings again. I don't tense. My doorman has the protocols down. More champagne? I ask, already heading for the kitchen. When I come back with 2 bottles, Harper's at the window, looking out at the Hudson, New Jersey lights flickering across the water. You think you'll ever do Thanksgiving with the family again? She asks. The question doesn't hurt like it would have 6 months ago. Family isn't blood, I tell her, nodding at the table. It's who shows up for you. She gets it. We're still in late November, technically, but everything's changed. Last year, I braced for impact. This year, I'm grateful for the explosion that set me free. My journal waits on the nightstand. Last night's entry, their emergency is not my responsibility. My therapist helped me write it. We've been working through all this, decades of manipulation, realizing my parents built Ethan's entitlement, wiring him emergency funds, making excuses for every birthday, every crisis. The guilt isn't buried or managed. It's gone. Senior Managing Director, Alistair announces, loving every word. Youngest in the firm's history. I roll my eyes, but I'm laughing. My phone buzzes again, Liam. Heard about the promotion. Always knew you'd choose yourself eventually. Proud of you. I type back, thank you. For everything. He replies instantly. You did this. Not me. But he saw it first. Saw what I couldn't. That matters. Dinner talk drifts to someone's nightmare contractor, then summer travel plans. Normal problems. Problems you can actually fix. Nobody here needs saving from disasters of their own making. Later, after everyone leaves, Harper helps me clear plates. I meant to tell you, she says. That young woman you've been mentoring? She finally set boundaries with her mother. My mentee, 26, brilliant, drowning in family obligation. I told her my story at a women's leadership conference in March. Showed her the spreadsheet. Explained how documenting everything set me free. Good for her, I say, and I mean it. The UIUC Scholarship Fund supports 5 students now. Ethan's legal settlement bought them futures he never bothered to build for himself. My legacy isn't the money I made. It's the pattern I broke. On my laptop, an unread email from James pops up. I don't open it. Just drag it straight to the trash and empty the folder. Yesterday, a birthday card arrived with a Lake Forest postmark. Evelyn's handwriting on the envelope. I hand it right back to the doorman, return to sender, no hesitation. Last week, someone tried to get DoorDash breakfast delivered here. The order was for Ethan. My doorman, who's truly one of a kind, turned it away. Whatever story they're telling now, it's not mine anymore. I finish the last of the champagne and step out onto the terrace. Manhattan sprawls out beneath me, 8 million people tangled up in their own dramas. The November air bites, but I stay put. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. The preview spells out enough. You destroyed us. I don't bother with the rest. I hold my thumb over the message, barely a second, then delete it. The truth settles in, heavy and warm. I didn't destroy them. I just stopped letting them destroy me. I lift my glass to the city, to every stubborn brick I stacked when everyone else expected me to fall apart, to the family we actually choose. I say it out loud, just for me. The champagne tastes like freedom.